Well, good afternoon, my YouTube friends. It's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids, and I'm having one of those days today where the confidence level is diminishing, and I'll explain why. Just let me, if I can switch one of the fans off, let me just explain. So at the moment we're 66% humidity. I was 68 a few minutes ago, 21.8 in the grow room. So I'm going to switch one of the fans off, and I've just got the little fan going behind me. So this is little Zorro, and little Zorro has been giving us blooms for weeks and weeks and weeks. And this morning I came in and I thought, oh hello, what's going on with Zorro? And there's this one as well, this little one here. So what I didn't look at that first of all, because I've got the mounts to water. And these are the mounts. And these go into the bathroom to be watered. I find it easy there, and I've got the sink. And that's the little species one, the Phalaenopsis amboyensis, with that little tiny inflorescence, still not doing anything. And that's the lamelatum, and that little growth, that flower inflorescence there. Don't know whether you'll see that, just up there. That's growing now, and you can see that they're still quite wet. That's another little species fell there. I'm tilting this way so that you can get the maximum light. And I have to be very, very careful when I water these species ones, because you can't get water in the crown. And likewise with all of them. That's a little cattleya there. And this is the one here that is the Dendrobium tetragonum. And the other day, let's see if I can get it with the proper light. Come on, there. And that little tiny growth, look how it's come on so quickly. That's really doing well, that one is. It's about accepting the environment it's in and the new mount. So I haven't got any problem with that one. This is the Laelia rubescens, and if I left over here, this has been watered today, and I've cleaned that mount that it was on. I thought, well, I'm not going to waste it. There's a little bit of remnants of green there, but that's just algae. There's no roots there. I've scraped them off, and I thought, well, I can use that again. Not particularly, I mean, I don't know whether I'll use it for this one, I'm not too sure. Oh, sorry, just let me hang it back up here, and then I'll come back to little Zorro and the little flowers. Well, that's a big indicator to me. And if you remember, she was in one of these little open baskets here, like this bulbophyllum. And so I thought, well, I've got to investigate now. And look at the roots. Can you see those roots? She hasn't got many now. And I didn't cut the actual roots off. You'll see the there's the roots. I just peeled back the velamen that covers the roots, and that had gone like dust. So she's in this tiny little vase here, and I wanted to just turn around for you then, just to give you an idea. Now, there we go. So that's the extent of a root system, can you see? And she's lay on lava rock with a little bit of rainwater at the bottom. So in other words, I've put her in rescue mode, and she'll stay this way now until I see new roots developing, and those new roots going down and searching out the bottom of that vase. And there you are, you see. She was bought in November 18, and it's the 9th of February 19, and if I hadn't have acted today, I may well have lost this one. So all is not yet a disaster. We'll just have to see how long it'll take her to recover. And likewise with this one here, I'll just move this one over here, and this one here, Chia E Yinlin, and this is that lovely variegated one, and this is one that came in sphagnum moss, and I said, oh, I can't have that with our winters. So I mounted this one, and this one did exactly the same. It actually aborted all the roots, and it's had about 3 or 4 roots while it's been mounted. I did lose 2 of the bottom leaves. So what I've done with this one today is I've put it in a little pot, and in that pot is some sphagnum moss and some lava rock. And likewise that sat in one of those little tiny bowls, and with some water at the bottom. Now all I can do now is, like with little Zorro, is wait now. I'm hopeful these leaves, although they are a little bit soft, they're not completely desiccated yet. And so I've been thinking about why certain orchids will adjust quicker than others. And I think my problem here, being in England, is we get this lull from November through to March when it's a bad time for orchids to transition. And it's a bad time for us orchids enthusiasts as well, because we get withdrawal symptoms. And you might laugh, but I tell you, it's true. You sit there after the Christmas holidays and you've had all your presents, and you're looking and you're just thinking, well, it's a right miserable day outside. I'll cheer myself up. I'll go on one of the orchid sites. And then you see, you go on the orchid sites, and what do? You end up buying something at the wrong time of the year. And also, you've got to realise that certain types of orchids are more difficult than others. Now, you'd think the Phalaenopsis, well, I mean the ones from the supermarket, you know, they're cheap and cheerful. And if you lose them, you don't mind. But when you've paid to have a named Phalaenopsis, you're wanting to transition that well. But they find it more difficult to transition, and it was like that little J.O. candy, and especially if they come in either a medium of sphagnum moss or the dreaded coconut, because then you're in trouble. Well, you are with our climate, and to get the actual orchid to transition can take absolutely ages. So this is why I have this little shelving here, so I can keep my eye on these. They're not tucked down on one of the bigger shelves, and I miss them. And if I go over here now, this was one of those little tiny Phalaenopsis. It was only a supermarket one. And this was one from the lady from work, and I transitioned this back. It lay in a little vase, like Zorro, for months and months, and I got the root system back, and I've transitioned it back into bark now. and those roots will be ready for watering on Monday. I won't water before Monday. And there's that little one there, the one with a little spike. And of course these were all watered and fed last week. That's one of the three sisters. That was that leaf that's dying back there. And you've got that other leaf there that's going to die back. But that seems to be fine. It's coming along with that nice new leaf there. And we've got this one in the corner, although that leaf's a bit damaged. I think at some point that leaf had trouble opening. And it'll remain like that now, but never mind. And we've brought in here, this is the big Dendrobium delicatum. This is the one that I wiped down last week with the spider mite mixture that I use, and that's the other one, the big Gracillicauli. Because now we're into the middle of February and the daylight is a little bit longer for us, and the orchids are responding, so I've got to act accordingly. And if I bring you up this one, I don't know if I stand on my tiptoes. This is the one that I've just bought from Tesco supermarket for £6.50, and that little bud there is opening, and I believe, thanks to some of my viewers, that this is called Breeze. And actually Rick has got one of these, so I'm hopeful for this one, but you can't always tell. That's that big one there. You'll see the big leaf there. That's the one that has taken me from 2015 to 2018 before it flowered, and that's the white one. And let's have a look how the newcomers are going on. This is I think this one's the Vanda Costalis Lucerneri, and this is the one that when I've watered I hang up here now. And look, that seems to be transitioning very well. Certain ones love the environment and they'll romp away straight away. Others, for some reason, and that's, you know, that's the orchid bug. You've got to try and see if you can grow them. That's that new growth there on Pendulum. And if we go down here, lift this one out for you. This is Vanda Falcata by Vanda Lucerneri. This is Baby Angel. If I hold it there, you've got the one root there, and if I turn it round, is it going to come into the light or not? There. You've got another root there. And this one loves it. Just sits over here, and I just have to be careful when I position it back because it's got a little stumpy root, and I don't want to break that little stumpy root. There we go. There's another one. Just has that root down there at the bottom. We'll just turn this humidifier off for a minute, it's blowing on my arm. That's that one. It's the, which is this one here? I've got the label turned around the wrong way. Oh, look at that one. Oh, there you are. That's the Vanda Falcata Shituno. And actually that one's going that way because when the sun comes through it hits this shelf, and these are doing exceptionally well. There's that big one with just the one root. I don't disturb that one, hardly touch it. And there's that one there. So sometimes your confidence level gets knocked a little bit, and mine was also knocked today with the two Phalaenopsis and this little one here, this little Phragmipedium, and this is Emilia aureus. And checking that today, I've had to put her in a pot that's a lot smaller, because that root system, some of those roots have died back. So this is still transitioning, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that one. But going down here now, I'll just go down here so you can see if I've got enough light down here. This is the Cymbidium. You remember the other day I repotted it, cleaned it, it had got spider mite. Look at that new shoot, that new growth there. Look how much it's grown. I can't believe it, and I've not watered it yet. I've got a mark on the calendar because Fernanda said, you know, just leave it for about a fortnight and before you water it. And look at that, and there's that new, and I think that is a flower spike. And we've got, I think it's tucked around the other side there, I think it's this pseudobulb here. We've got that other nice growth developing. So I'm really, really chuffed with that. And if I just gently pick myself up, there we go. And bring you over here. Let's have a look what's happening here. I don't think there's much happening. Of course, good old Richterii still blooming. How is that going to focus in? No. And you'll see the windows are steamed up again. And everything up there. There. All this lot here. These will be watered tomorrow. Except the Vanda Falcata. That will be watered shortly. Because when I do the mounts, because this is such a big one, I water this one separate. But if you look through there, there's a root there that's green. And shame about that one. It just died, that root, and maybe that's why it's given me that new root there. It's just, oh, forget it's on. I do apologise about that. And that Pamela Hetherington, you can see now, there's no fragrance now. She's just dying back gracefully. And we look around everywhere else. Everything's appears to be fine. It's just that the days go so quickly, and the big Sologeny there has been watered, and that's why it's lay flat in that tray. Yes, the days go so quickly. Before I know where I am, it's Wednesday, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I work, and then Saturday, and we're back into the grow room and seeing how everything is and whether anything needs looking at. That's the big Phalaenopsis from last week with that reservoir of water. And here we've got this little one, this and just soaking now. This is the Pathio Pedalum Bellatum by Rothschildianum. The big frag there. That's, I think that might be Lassavarinus, that one. And of course this big one here, that's Grande. And of course this one I show nearly all the time. And this is, there we go, Longiflorum. And that leaf's here, still extending. And then of course we've got the Angraecum there. And that'll be taken into the bathroom tomorrow to have those roots sprayed, if nothing else. just to hydrate them. And now if I take you down to that bottom shelf, I'm going to blind you with the lights being on. But I want you just to, if I can, let's have a look at it. Let me bring it out. I'll give it a little drop of water today. And that's the little desert rose. She's lovely. And she started to grow a new set of leaves for this year. So I'm dead chuffed about that. I thought I'd just bring you down into the hallway just to finish off and show you these other amaryllis. Now this one we're looking at now, it's a little bit late, isn't it? But this one's called Christmas Star, and it's quite a little bit smaller than the others, but you can understand why it's called Christmas Star. It's an absolutely gorgeous one, this is. And this big one here is called, have a look, Flamingo. Look at the size of that. And it's got that bloom. There's one underneath. There's that one. There's that one underneath. There's this one. There's those. That one there. And she's got another 2 buds developing there. Absolutely lovely. And this is Dancing Queen, this one, and that other flower finish there, and this is the second one she's bringing up, and that one there, that's already flowered, and this is the second one. Now I can't see that name on there. Oh, I wonder if I can just quickly have a look. And that's called, oh no, that's called, oh, that one there, I can show you correctly, it's called Amaryllis Florida, and very nice it is too. So I'll finish here now, and thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye now.